it was formed in order to screw the United States. I mean, look, let's be honest. Am I going to impose tariffs on the European Union? Do you want the truthful answer, or should I give you a political answer? Absolutely.
They don't take our farm products, they take almost nothing, and we take everything from them. The European Union it's an atrocity, what they've done.
It is clear that we Europeans must now be able to act very quickly.
True independence from America.
Let's get straight to the point. The United States is entangled in a serious trade dispute, not with traditional adversaries, but with two of its closest allies, Germany and Canada. This isn't mere economic sparring, it's a fundamental challenge to transatlantic relations that could reshape global alliances. At the heart of this conflict lies a significant shift in U.S. trade policy. President Trump has imposed tariffs under the pretext of protecting domestic industries, targeting steel and aluminum imports with a blanket 25% duty effective March 12. This move has severely impacted Canada, a primary exporter of these materials to the U.S. More provocatively, there's the looming threat of a 25% tariff on European automobiles, a move that could destabilize Germany's pivotal automotive sector.
Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens.
Such intense trade tensions between long-standing allies were unimaginable until recently. Nations that have collaborated for decades through NATO and the G7 now find their economic partnerships under siege, prompting each to prioritize national interests over collective goals. Amidst this turmoil, Germany's political landscape is undergoing a seismic shift. Friedrich Merz, leader of the Christian Democratic Union (CDU), is poised to become the next chancellor following the recent federal elections. Merz has been vocal about the need for Europe to achieve greater independence from the United States, particularly in defense matters. In response to perceived indifference from the current U.S. administration, he advocates for strengthening European unity and developing autonomous security capabilities to reduce reliance on transatlantic alliances. The message is stark. Aggressive trade policies are fraying traditional alliances, introducing profound economic and political uncertainties. As the U.S. escalates its trade defenses, Germany and Canada are strategizing robust responses, signaling a potential realignment in global power structures. Germany's economy is deeply intertwined with its automotive industry, home to giants like BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Volkswagen. The proposed 25% U.S. tariff on imported vehicles threatens not just profits, but the very lifeblood of Germany's economic identity. The ramifications are severe. The German auto industry employs over 800,000 workers and supports millions more in ancillary sectors. A substantial decline in U.S. exports could lead to factory shutdowns, massive layoffs, and a ripple effect that would reverberate throughout the European economy. Amidst this economic turmoil, Germany's political landscape is shifting. Friedrich Merz, leader of the Christian Democratic Union (CDU), is poised to become the next chancellor following the recent federal elections. Merz advocates for European autonomy, emphasizing the need to reduce reliance on the U.S., especially in defense matters, in light of perceived indifference from the current American administration. Germany perceives these tariffs as an existential threat to its economic stability and is prepared to take decisive action. Under Merz's leadership, the nation is likely to pursue policies that bolster European unity and diminish dependence on traditional alliances, signaling a potential realignment in global power structures. Canada, a long-standing ally and top supplier of steel and aluminum to the U.S., has been directly impacted by the recent tariffs. On February 10, 2025, President Trump expanded tariffs to all countries, imposing a 25% duty on steel and aluminum imports, effective March 12, 2025. This abrupt policy shift has disrupted Canada's metal industries, leading to economic strain and uncertainty among producers and workers. In swift retaliation, Canada announced on February 2, 2025, the imposition of 25% tariffs on $155 billion worth of U.S. goods, effective February 4, 2025. This decisive move aims to protect Canadian interests and signal to the U.S. the serious repercussions of such trade barriers. Recognizing the shared challenges posed by U.S. tariffs, Canada and Germany have initiated discussions to coordinate their responses. Both nations are exploring joint action to counteract the economic impact, including potential coordinated tariffs and seeking alternative markets for their exports. This alliance signifies a strategic partnership aimed at amplifying their negotiating power against U.S. trade policies. Canada, facing significant economic challenges due to U.S. tariffs, is not standing alone. By aligning with Germany, both countries aim to present a united front, enhancing their leverage in negotiations and striving to mitigate the adverse effects of protectionist trade measures. The European Union, traditionally managing trade policy through the European Commission, now faces internal divisions as member states grapple with the U.S.'s aggressive trade measures. The imposition of a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum imports by President Trump, effective March 12, 2025, has prompted varied responses within the bloc. While some nations advocate for immediate retaliatory tariffs, others urge for diplomatic negotiations to prevent a full-scale trade war. Germany, as the EU's economic powerhouse, finds itself at a crossroads. The newly elected Chancellor, Friedrich Merz, has been vocal about reducing Europe's dependence on the U.S., especially in defense and economic matters. Merz's administration emphasizes the need for a robust European response to U.S. tariffs, even if it means acting unilaterally to protect Germany's critical automotive industry. This stance, however, raises concerns about the potential fragmentation of EU unity, as other member states may not share Germany's assertive approach. The EU's strength has always been its collective bargaining power. However, the current crisis tests this unity. Germany's inclination towards a more independent path, driven by its significant economic stakes, could lead to a splintering of strategies within the EU. The challenge lies in reconciling Germany's national interests with the broader goal of EU cohesion, ensuring that the bloc presents a united front in negotiations with the US. The escalating trade tensions with the US have placed the European Union at a pivotal juncture. Germany's assertive stance under Chancellor Merz underscores the difficulty of aligning national priorities with collective EU action. The coming months will reveal whether the EU can maintain its unity or if divergent national interests will lead to a fragmented response, potentially weakening the bloc's position on the global stage. The U.S. administration has often favored one-on-one negotiations, a divide-and-conquer approach. However, the emerging united front between Germany and Canada presents a significant challenge to this tactic. By collaborating, these nations aim to counterbalance U.S. pressure and protect their economic interests. A full-blown trade war could have severe economic repercussions for all parties involved. The imposition of tariffs and counter-tariffs may lead to increased production costs, disrupted supply chains, and higher prices for consumers. Industries heavily reliant on international trade, such as automotive and manufacturing sectors, could face significant downturns, resulting in job losses and economic instability. Alternatively, a compromise could be reached through diplomatic negotiations. This might involve the U.S. agreeing to reduce or eliminate certain tariffs in exchange for concessions from Germany and Canada, such as opening their markets to more U.S. goods or implementing stricter regulations on specific imports. Such a resolution would aim to de-escalate tensions and restore stability to international trade relations. The current trade tensions between the United States, Germany, and Canada are not isolated incidents but part of a broader trend of shifting international alliances and economic policies. The imposition of tariffs by the U.S. has prompted affected nations to reassess their trade relationships and consider diversifying their economic partnerships. For instance, Canada is actively seeking to strengthen its economic ties with the European Union to mitigate the impact of U.S. tariffs. At its core, this situation highlights how aggressive trade policies can strain traditional alliances. The U.S. tariffs, justified on grounds of national security and economic protectionism, have led to retaliatory measures from both Germany and Canada, indicating a significant shift in transatlantic relations. This underscores the delicate balance between safeguarding domestic industries and maintaining robust international partnerships. The hope is for a pragmatic resolution to avoid a destructive trade war. However, the united front presented by Germany and Canada signals a significant change in how traditional allies are now willing to confront the U.S. on trade matters. This development could lead to a realignment of global trade networks and necessitates careful navigation to preserve both economic stability and diplomatic relations. Thank you for watching. We encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Is a trade war inevitable, or can these allies find a way to compromise and de-escalate? What do you believe is the most critical factor to watch in this evolving situation?